So I did a big house clearance job yesterday. Now all the good furniture I've kept and taken to the charity shops, and this is all the stuff that was broken. So now it needs to go down to the tip. But anyway, it's now been 3 months since I started the waste business, so I thought, with lots going on over the last few weeks, now would be a good time to give you all an update on what's been happening. And just like I did last time, at the end of this video we're going to go over money. Because I've logged every single penny in and out of the business over these last 3 months. So we can see exactly how much I've made and whether it's been worth it or not. And then I'm going to give my honest opinion. Do I think it's worth it quitting your job and starting a waste removal business? Or are you better off staying in your day job? But yeah, there's been lots happening over the last few weeks. Lots of good stuff, lots of bad stuff. So where do we start? We'll probably start on the good stuff. So over the first 2 months, I've literally had no branding whatsoever. I've had a Facebook page and a logo, and that's about it. And I've been getting all my jobs through Facebook. And I know a lot of you guys in the comments have been getting on at me as well, saying I need to get some uniform, I need to get some signage, I need to get a website. But I've just not been able to afford those things. I started this business with no plan, on a little bit of an impulse, so I didn't really have any savings there to invest in branding. So it's always been my intention to get those things, it's just been that I've not been able to. But anyway, a few weeks ago, I found myself in a position where I've finally been able to get those things sorted. But where do you start on branding and on a website when you have no idea what you're doing? I mean, I haul waste away. I don't design websites and I don't design business cards. But then I remembered, I know someone who does. So a few weeks ago when I was looking into all this branding and website stuff, I suddenly remembered my friend Adam, and this is exactly what he specialises in. He runs his own company and he helps small businesses grow by building websites and running them through like automation and stuff. So a few weeks ago I gave him a ring to see if he could help me out. I need your help. Obviously, you know my situation with the business and stuff, and I really need to level it up. I'm thinking website, business cards, branding, and I've been stuck on it for a little while, if I'm honest with you, but I know you're the go-to guy for it. I don't know why I didn't think of you earlier, to be honest. So what are you thinking? How can we level up my waste business?
Basically, the way that our system works is we'll build you a website. On the website, you'll have a business phone number and you'll have a quote form that people can get in touch with you from. You'll get an app as well. And basically, when people ring your business phone number, your personal phone will ring as well. We also have an automation, which means that if you miss a call, that customer will get a text back from you. It'll say like, hey, this is Sam from Sam's Waste Removals. Sorry, I missed your call. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And then what it'll do as well, will also direct them towards the website to fill out a quote. Your main focus is showing up, doing the work and doing a good job, not, how does the website look? How do I make sure that I'm not missing leads? How do I make sure that I'm still getting reviews? And, there's a lot to think about as a business owner. So this system is just designed to take that big weight off your shoulders so that you can just keep doing the work that you're best at.
But about the business cards, I know I'm asking quite a lot here, mate. I just don't know where to start with that either. Is that something that you do as well? Because, yeah, is that something that you can do?
In terms of the business cards, I could do you like a design. You say you've got a logo already, so
I pretty much gave Adam very little instruction on the website and business cards. He asked me what I wanted them to look like, and I just said, do your thing. This is not what I do, and I don't know how to design websites. I just said I want it to look clean and professional, so I left him to do his own thing. But the results are way better than what I expected. In fact, the business cards arrived yesterday, and just look how professional they look. I'm really happy with how they turned out. And on the back side as well, there's a QR code there. If you scan that, it takes you straight to the website and you can get a waste removal quote from your boy Sam. I'm going to drop a link in the description below to Adam's website, so if you need any of his services, just reach out and I'm sure he'll be happy to help you. Now don't get me wrong, these business cards are brilliant and I'm so happy with them. But I want something a little bit bigger as well. Now, that's more like it. Finally got the van signage sorted. and I think it looks absolutely brilliant. It's made a big difference to the van, hasn't it? It's gone from looking just like a normal old scruffy transit van to an actual business van. Yeah, I'm really impressed with it. And of course we've got the new business number on there. We've got the website, show the services that we do, and just a quick logo. Nice and simple. I didn't even have to design any of the signage either. The company that I used, it's Signs DIY. I'll put a link down in the description below. But they do all the design for you and everything. You basically just send them your registration of your van and take a couple of photos so they can see like if there's any deadlocks or if you've got a sliding door like I have. And then you tell them what you want. You give them like the colours that you need. You send them over your logo. You say, you know, I want green and orange and black. Tell them what details to put on there, and they'll design it all for free as part of the price. So honestly, I thought that was absolutely brilliant. The reason I've gone with these as well is because the magnets. So it's actually so much more convenient for me to take them off if I want. But also, if you remember, my van's paintwork is a little bit sketchy down here. So at some point I did want to get all the paint sorted. So I didn't really want to be paying to get signage all over the van, you know, if I'm going to be getting the paint sorted. So when I saw this pop up, the magnet ones, I thought absolutely perfect. They're just what I need. So yeah, I'm well happy with how it's turned out, to be honest with you. Way better than what I could have imagined. So now that it's done, it should actually bring some traffic to the website as well. Yeah, like I said earlier, it's pointless having a brilliant website if you're not going to have any traffic going to it. So now people should be able to access the website and I'll get more leads and hopefully make more money. And I definitely do need to start making more money as well, because it's not all been good on the business front the last few months, let me tell you. Now, if you've been following the channel, you'll know that I spent just over £1,000, probably about a month ago, getting the van fixed and through its MOT. It needed all new brake lines, a new sill on one side, the other sill needed patching, it needed a new brake caliper, it needed quite a lot of work. So I thought after spending that £1,000, Big Jim had been in the clear for a few months, I'd have no problems, but nope. Problems have started arising already. I've got a fuel leak, I've got an oil leak, I've got a bulb out, which isn't really a major problem. The brake pads need doing, and I've got an engine management light on. So I filled Big Jim up with diesel last week, and when I came out of the petrol station, I could just see diesel dripping out of the underside of the van all over the forecourt floor. When I was under there having a look at the fuel leak, that's when I discovered the oil leak, and then the other problems have arisen since then. So it's only been a week and all them problems have arisen. And I think the worst part is I can't really afford to get it fixed at the minute. The fuel leak isn't actually a major problem because it's coming from the fuel filler hose, which is located on the top of the tank. So as the fuel goes into the tank, as you're filling it up, there's like a seal on top of there that's perished. So obviously that's leaking fuel. So to manage that, I just never go over half a tank of diesel. And to manage the oil leak, I can just keep filling up with oil for now. But it's never going to go away, and a leak always gets worse, it never gets better. Now, I'm not the type of person to put maintenance off and put stuff off if it needs doing, but I can't afford to do it right now. As you'll see in a minute when we go through money, it's tight. The van has actually been off of the road for 2 of the last 6 weeks as well due to all of them problems. So while the van's off the road, I obviously can't be earning money, so my income reduces as well as my expenses going up. I just feel like I can't win with a van really. But anyway, as promised, let's get into money. How much money have I made in the last 3 months? Now, I've logged every single penny that I've spent and brought in through the business. And because I've logged absolutely everything, it's easier for me to see where things are going wrong. So, revenue. The total amount of revenue I brought in over the last 3 months is £9,240.57. Now, most of that is obviously coming from waste jobs, but there is the odd scrap metal collection there, and when I've been reselling furniture, bits and bats that I thought were too good for the tip. But I'd say about 80 to 90% of that is from waste jobs. But what about the expenses? I think the biggest shocker to me is that tipping is nearly 50% of my expenses. That's £2,900 and 57 pence. That is insane. So that's how much I've spent on getting rid of waste over the last 3 months. The van maintenance and servicing and MOT, that's £1,050 so far. I expect that to go up over the next few weeks, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. The signage, that was £458.99. My van insurance, 3 months worth of van insurance, that's £394. My licences and the DBS, so that's my waste carrier's licence, the scrap metal collection, the DBS check, that was £338.50. My public liability insurance, that's been £139 over the last 3 months. My road tax, £93. My waste transfer books and my hazardous waste book, that was £37.97. I think I bought 3 books in total, so that's the total for that. And then a dirty air zone charge of £9 from Bradford City Council, so thank you very much for that one. Now fuel is obviously not on there. Now I do simplified expenses when it comes to claiming my vehicle costs for HMRC. So they basically give me a 45 pence tax relief for every business mile that I do. Now I know my van costs about 25 pence per mile in fuel, and I log every single business mile that I do. I've got a business miles book at home, which obviously I keep for HMRC purposes as well. So the last 3 months I've done business miles, 1,655 miles. Now, as I said, I worked it out at about 25 pence per mile. So that works out at £413.75. So the total expenses, £5,834.78. And that leaves a grand profit for the last 3 months, £3,405.79. Now there's a few things that we have to consider off of them profits. They're not entirely all profits. You see, from that £3,405.79, I have to pay my tax and national insurance, my pension, my wage, of course, because I have to pay my bills. Then I have to put money away for the van servicing and MOTs and stuff, which I've obviously not been doing because I've not been earning enough. So I've got to take out all that before I can actually consider making profit. So actually, over the last 3 months, I definitely haven't made a profit. So I definitely need to start earning more money for this to be profitable. In the first month, I did have quite a lot of expenses which were one-offs, like my deposits for my insurance, my DBS check, my waste carrier's licence, my scrap metal collection licence. So that's always going to make the expenses look a little bit worse. And then the van. I don't expect to have to spend £1,000 every 3 months on my van. If I do, something is definitely wrong. But £1,000 every 3 months just seems a little bit excessive. Obviously, I know I'm going to have to spend money keeping the van in tip-top shape and keeping it roadworthy, because obviously it's my business, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to have to spend £1,000 every 3 months. And then there's the fact that I've only had the website and the signage for a short period. And whilst they've been active, I've had a lot more calls and a lot more leads than normal. People are obviously getting in contact now because they can see the van signage and they know what I do, they know where to go if they want my services. And that has definitely been the most frustrating part, the fact that I spent all this money getting the van ready, investing in the business and investing in myself, only to have the van off-road when things mattered most. But all in all, do I think it's worth it, or has it been worth it? 3 months is only a short period of time in the grand scheme of things. So I'm going to reserve judgment just for now on whether I think this is worth it. But over the last 3 months, yeah, I'd say so. Ask me again after 12 months. I'll probably do another update after 6 months and after 12 months, and we'll go through money again and we'll see where I'm at, and we'll see if I've grown or if I'm stuck in this same position that I'm in now. I still need to get some uniform and I still need to get some storage. But obviously with my cash flow problem at the minute, those things are definitely getting put on the back burner as well. I'm just going to have to wait until I've got more money. There's definitely been times as well over the last few months where I've thought about giving in or giving up. But you know what? Fuck that. Right, I'm going to crack on. I've got work to do. So, catch you in the next video, I guess. See you later.